Evening, everyone. Welcome to PrepBee. And in our series CHARCHA-E-BSCHOOL, today we have Vasudha. She is from IIM Indore. And since the calls are to be out or maybe out too, she'll be helping us with all of the major queries. About the session, I'll be covering up all of the questions, the major questions, and then we can refer to chat for all of the pending questions. Will that work, Vasudha?
Sure.
So, good evening. How are you?
I'm all good. How are you?
Fine. Indore, how's the city?
So it's the cleanest city again this year. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's peaceful. The people are very humble, helpful. It's nice.
About Indore, I have a special connection with Indore. I've lived there for 10 years in a hostel. I did my schooling from Indore, from
Okay.
Emerald Light, so have a fair idea about the city, and it's one of the best cities to study and pursue your education from.
Right. It's also very
Right.
peaceful. It's
Yeah,
nice.
people are different there if you compare it to Delhi, Mumbai.
Yeah.
So the basic purpose of the session is to get an insight about what the college provides, how is IIM Indore doing, and you'll be helping us for some of the questions regarding to the GDPI and how to prepare for it. So starting straightforward, can you tell me about your profile, whether you're an engineer, not engineer, your academics and something?
Sure. So I've done my BCom from St. David's University, Calcutta. I'm a fresher. And after my BCom, I took a gap year, which we'll come to when we discuss about the PI. Did a
Okay.
few internships here and there, took the CAT exam, also a few other exams. And then
Mhm.
luckily, I got a call from Indore, converted the interview, and it's been 6 months here. It's been a good ride, fun ride.
Yeah. So congratulations, firstly, for converting the college. So you must be in your third term.
Yeah, I've just entered them.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So can you tell me about how's the campus all about? How's the vibe in the campus?
The campus is beautiful. I would suggest you all to have a look on the Instagram page also. Um, it's lush green. It's kind of on a hill, so we basically trek to our classes every day, and it'll be very easy for you to complete 10,000 steps. Easy peasy. Apart from that, the campus life, I would say it is not constant. So it depends on the term that you're in. The first term was very hectic. You're away from home, you're missing home, you're clueless, you have to juggle between your acads and also the summer placement process. So it tends to get to you. Then get used to it. You enter the second term, and it is academically heavy. You have quizzes.
Mhm.
Also, Indore has surprise quizzes. So you get
Yeah.
mails 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours before the quiz that you have a quiz
Mhm.
scheduled, and then you're running here and there to get notes and prepare for the quiz. Then now I've entered term three and it's very chill. I had nothing to do. I'm just sitting and planning trips here and there. So it depends on the term and how you want to manage your time as well.
Yeah. So until and unless you are interned already, if you secured an internship, then after that time your period would be very chill. That same is with me. I'm in Great Lakes, Chennai. So after my internship, I've been taking all of the interviews, talking to people, and all of these things. Before that, it is all hectic because you have to manage academics, your internship, competitions, all of that. So how's the placements doing there at IM and Indore?
The placements, they've been pretty good actually. Looking at the
Mhm.
economic condition right now, we have done
Yeah.
actually well for this batch, and previous batch was
Mm-hmm.
extremely well, but we've managed this year as
Okay.
well. So yeah,
So what's the fees of the college?
it's around 20. I'm giving you rough figures. It's around 21, 22, or it can go up to 23 as well. So I would suggest to have a look at the website. You'll find the information.
Okay. Okay, okay. So I guess the ROI of the college would be good too. If in
Actually, very good.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So how many seats are there for the people there in IIM?
So this year we have a batch of 612 students. Uh,
612.
yeah, like
Okay.
our batch is 612. And I'm not actually sure about the upcoming batch, but it's
So as
around.
in it. Mm-hmm. I was asking that 612 is your batch or it is including your seniors too?
No, just our batch.
Oh,
Yeah,
pretty,
IIM Indore
you
is
know,
known for its huge backside.
good batches. And instead of it, it's doing real good.
It is.
Uh, so how many courses does it provide? Like in its MBA, is there any different kind of specialization that is catering to?
So we get a general PGP degree from IIM
Mm-hmm.
Indore, and we have a PGP HRM program as well. It is a different separate program altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, we do not have specializations in finance marketing or any of that sort. We just get a general degree.
Okay. So first year you will be studying all of the subjects, and then in the second year you will be taking your masters and specialization in it.
No, as I said, it's a general degree. So we get electives. For example,
Okay.
first term and second term, we studied everything, starting from finance, operations, marketing, everything. Term three, we get electives. So if you want to go into supply chain, you choose subjects that are related to supply chain. So you don't specialize in one subject. You get to have electives
Yeah.
of it.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned about the can you tell us about the batch profile
Right.
currently?
So our batch, so when you come to the gender, it's a male heavy, male dominated
Okay. Okay.
campus. There is a
Mm-hmm.
fair mix of freshers and workex. Freshers are more in
Mm-hmm.
number, and also when it comes to engineering, there are more engineers than compared to non-engineers.
Okay. And like in your experience, what's the differentiator factor between the masters or PGP that IIM Indore provides and between other, like amongst other colleges? Like how do you differentiate both of the MBAs?
Both of the MBAs as well.
As in like how is the MBA pursuing MBA from IIM Indore different and better from other colleges?
So firstly, it's a blackie. Um,
Yes.
so that is, I think, that is the first point that comes to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I think the PGP program here, it has a lot of unique things to offer. For example, apart from the case study method that is followed, I think nowadays it's followed everywhere. We have
Yeah.
cases in every subject from Howard businesses.
Mhm.
We have cases from IIM Ahmedabad as well. Apart from
Yeah.
that, uh, last term we were on a rural engagement group, right? So it is a compulsory program that you have to
Mhm.
uh, go to in the first year.
Mhm.
You're taken to a village. You have a project
Mhm.
to work on, to study on basically. You live there
Yeah.
for a week or so. And
Mhm.
it is hectic, but it's a wonderful experience. We were there for a week. We came back. We got a lot of things. You don't get to do these
Yeah.
things, in every week. This is the
Mhm.
first year. In the second year, you have a Himalayan outbound program. So you go trekking.
Okay.
And when you go to these places, you don't go to just have fun. You learn management. You
Mhm.
learn
Learn
a lot of
management.
things that you're learning in classes. You apply it on field. So I think again, you can go through these specific programs on the website. You get a lot of information there. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of uniqueness in the PG program that is offered here.
So then you mean that experiential learning is one of the key factors that you'll get out from the program, right? Uh,
Definitely.
since since the people like what's the safe percentile to convert the college?
The safe percentile.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have batchmates who have scored 99.5 plus, and also there are people who have scored 92, 91. I am indoors selection criteria is very heavily dependent on your academics. So if you
Yeah.
have good scores in your class 10th, 12th, this year they have, I think, removed the class 12th criteria from the final selection, the composite score that you have, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still your graduation marks and definitely your PI. 50% weightage is on the PI. So
So can you brief me about what's the weightage all about the composite score? What all things does it take in apart from the your cat score and that score?
right. So I'm assuming that everybody here has gotten shortlists from Amazon.
No, it's a generic session for everyone.
Okay. So but the
Okay.
calls are out.
Yeah, yeah. That
Yeah.
is why we have.
So now that the calls are out, the final selection will have your 10th score. That is,
Mm-hmm.
it has a higher weightage. Uh, the 12th score has been removed this year. It was there till last year. CAT
Okay.
2023, the highest weightage is given to BARC, and
Mm.
DILR and Quant have the same weightage. Then there's the PI, and that is it. We do not have a GD in the selection criteria. Uh, and I would again suggest that the entire information is on the IIM website. So please go through the website and you'll find
Yeah.
everything there in detail.
Yeah, yeah. I've been through the website. It's really helpful and easy to search through and get the required information.
Right.
I guess there's a 5-year program too that I am Indore offers from people who have who after the 12th. So people are really confused sometimes कि यार 5 साल का है कि 2 साल का है. So can you just throw some light upon it too?
Sure. So the 5-year program is the IPM program, and it is
Mm-hmm.
one of the best programs that India has when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
IPM. Uh, so IPM is integrated program in management. It's a 3-year undergraduate degree, post which you can choose to pursue your PGP from IIM Indore, or you can choose to
Okay.
shift to any other college that you may want to. So PGP program is a 2-year program that I am pursuing.
Program.
IPM is a program
Okay.
that you join after your class 12
Good.
to do your UG. So
Mm-hmm.
in our batch, we also have IPM converts who have converted from the
Oh,
UG program to MBA. So
okay.
that is the difference. It is
So
not the same. So the PGP program that you're joining after CAT is your MBA. And
MBA.
yeah,
Got it. Since you mentioned about the gap year, so let us go to GDPI. No, only PI since there is no GD there. So how do people prepare for it? For the PI specifically for IIM Indore? What all
okay.
things should we keep in mind regarding the selection criteria?
So firstly, if you're talking about PI, I'm pretty sure that the aspirants, they've heard it everywhere, that drive your interview. When I used to hear it last year, I was in the same place that everybody here is last year. I did not understand the meaning of it. That how am I supposed to drive the interview? The questions are, with the interviewer, and how will I influence or convince them to ask questions that I want to answer? After I sat for interviews, for mock interviews or actual interviews, I realized you can actually drive your interview. So when the first question is definitely tell me about yourself. That is your key to drive your interview, right?
Sure,
So when
sure.
I'm preparing
Yeah.
that answer, you have drivers in your answer. You have key points, highlights that you want the interviewer to actually be interested in. So when I prepared my
Talk
answer,
about.
yeah, I prepared my answer.
Yeah.
I had mentioned that economics was my favorite subject, right? So it was a part of my why MBA. So when you're also preparing about to tell me about yourself, you add a little bit of why do you want to pursue an MBA in that answer, so that you have a topic to discuss, right? So because I had mentioned economics, my entire interview was around economics, and it was not
Mhm.
about what is demand, what is supply. It was about what is your opinion. So what I have noticed is after talking to my peers as well, that during IMI interviews, they focus a lot on your opinions on matters rather than your subject knowledge. Because
Yeah.
it is a given that if you're sitting for an IM interview, you are a subject matter expert.
Segment, yeah.
You need to have a well-rounded opinion on matters that is going on around the world. So because I mentioned economics, the first question that I was asked was, who is the chief economic advisor of the country and what does he do? And that this was after the budget last year. My interview
Yeah.
was after the budget was released. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, fine. I knew the answer. And after that, it went to what is the economic condition of the country? Give me the
Yeah.
GDP number, right? What is
Mm-hmm.
the key problem the country is facing? From there, it went to what is happening in Sri Lanka because there was an economic crisis going
Fine.
on. It went
Crisis
to
there.
Pakistan. So I mentioned
Pakistan.
economics. It did not go to a CADS. It went to the
Yeah.
entire economic condition of our country and also neighboring countries. It went to China-India relations and
Geopolitics came in.
exactly.
Yeah.
Then one
Yeah.
question was, if you were the PM for a day, what would you do? Which
Yeah. Yeah.
key problem that you'd
Mm-hmm.
address? Then it went to unemployment. And
Yeah.
so by the time the interview was going to, get over, and IIM Indore interviews have extempores. So please be prepared for
Mm-hmm.
extempores. Practice. It is they don't give you tough topics. They give you topics that they know that you will be able to cope, right?
Correct.
Practice and you will be able to do it. So the prof, when she was asking me, she was giving me the topic for my extempore, she mentioned that
Mm-hmm.
since you're an economics student, I'll give you this topic. And I'm like, I'm not an economics student. I'm a BCom student. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. The entire interview was so economics heavy. And then we had a banter, and then she gave me a topic. So because I knew my economics cards and also the current scenario well, I could get to the top. So make sure whatever you're mentioning in your tell me about yourself answer, be thorough with everything. Do not lie. Do not do not say that I like singing when you don't know how to sing. They are going to tell you sing a song for me,
To sing a song, yeah.
right? And for the gap year, I was asked. Uh, okay, I'm so sorry, Tanish. Can I have 2 seconds, please? My laptop
Yeah, sure, sure.
is running
Sure,
out
sure,
of
sure.
charge.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. I
Right,
was about to ask you, man, I forgot.
a gap year. I was talking about
Mm,
the
gap year, yeah. How did you justify your gap year? What reason did you give?
yeah. So my actual reason was I was actually not, sure of what I want to do because I'm interested in
Mm-hmm.
finance. So I was thinking
Mm-hmm.
whether I should do a CA, a CF, or an MBA.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I did mention this in my answer, but also if you've taken a gap year, I'm hoping that you've done internships or at least a few courses, not internships. You don't need to have internships. It's okay. I did not have
Yeah,
a lot. I had two internships, but a few courses to actually show that you were not sitting idle. Because if you
yeah.
are showing that you took an entire year to prepare for CAT, which is actually normal, it does not put out a good impression.
So
So
that.
I had internships, I had a few courses because I'm interested in finance. I had courses on finance, on stock
Mm-hmm.
markets, on
Yeah.
investments. So I think that helped because then they also asked me that what are the three things or skills that you learned in your gap year. It can be as simple as cooking,
Mm-hmm.
but at least show that you
Okay.
did something productive in your gap.
You did something. So one of the key things for any interview is firstly be thorough with everything you speak and be honest about the things. Even if you say that I am into German, like if I speak German, so I was asked to introduce myself in German, say some of the sentences. So that is how you drive your interview, and like
Yeah,
that is what you did too. You knew that economics is your part, and you just
yeah,
I think you must have answered almost every question that they have asked.
yeah.
And
Thank you.
one of the one of the crucial things is to be really aware about the current affairs too, because everything can relate to like Sri Lanka financial crisis. Why did it happen? Pakistan's crisis and all of it. Okay,
Right.
so when someone is as you actually mentioned about the PI, so for the extempore thing, like how long does it go and how much time do they give, or is it really sudden? They give you the topic and you have to start speaking.
No, they give you time to think. I
Okay.
again, I had a very chill interview. Right,
Mm-hmm.
my panel was very chill. I have friends who have had very stress interviews as well. So
Yeah.
you also have a luck factor. You always have a luck factor. I
Yeah,
got time to
it's
think.
related.
I had yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, these interviews. I think any interview in general, you have a luck factor playing. So do not think a lot about it. Usually you get time to think for extempores. I got a minute to think about the topic, and then you
Okay.
speak for about a minute and a half or two. Depends on the panel, but you for sure have an extempore.
Okay. So, is there any SOP before you fill in the forms? And so, what are the key things that we should keep in mind while writing an SOP for the topics and for the college?
Okay. Yes. We had an SOP, and as far as I know, there's an SOP this year as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's there.
so I divided my SOP into three parts. This is the generic format of an SOP, right? The first paragraph is about yourself. You talk
Mhm.
about your educational background, any PORs, positions of responsibility that you might have had,
Mhm.
your internship experience if you have any, and
Yeah.
also your hobbies and interests, right? That is the first paragraph. The second one is why are you pursuing an MBA? So I would suggest that you build a story around it. Do not just, mention directly. Have a good story
Yeah.
built because it is also a conversation starter. If you have a story, for
Mhm.
example, if you have a family business and you've seen your parents, do that business, and that is where you're
Yeah.
interested in, they're going to ask you that what is the business about? How did you
Yeah.
actually develop an interest in that? Okay. And
Mhm.
the third paragraph is why the specific college that you're applying to. So for IIM Indore, go through the website again. It is very helpful. You have specifics about, the programs that offered here, the rural engagement program that I spoke about, the other
Yeah.
events that are held here. So that mention if you want to, if there's a specific uh, college that you want to go for STEP, student
Yeah.
exchange, you can mention that.
Mhm.
So
That too.
it's very specific to the college. They should, be able to understand that yes, you're interested in the college and you've researched there.
Yes,
So
sir.
these are the three
Because
paragraphs.
a candidate who have researched is always seen as an better one again if you compare to others. And one of the key things that someone can do is to read the vision and mission of the college and just write it down in your SOP and connect it through it. So
Definitely.
when I was applying from my college, their vision was to make future leaders who are great at blah 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 and something. I just wrote it and connected it well. So that these are the small, even they know that you must have copied it down and there is nothing new about it, but that shows your sincerity at your end, at
Yeah,
your part.
right. The fact that you've actually
Yeah.
took, taken the time out and the pain to go through their website and read the vision and mission,
Mm-hmm.
that is a, it puts out a good impression on you.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess I've covered majority of the questions. Is there anything else that you want to tell in or chip in about?
Anything for the PI, I would suggest, as you said, that current affairs is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, be thorough with topics that are trending.
Mm-hmm.
For example, AI, ML, blockchain. These are very
Okay.
trendy topics, jargons that they might just ask an opinion. That do you think that AI
No, no,
is going to
no.
replace humans? Very very simple topic, but you
Very
never
simple.
know at that point of time. If you're reading up articles and you get a broader perspective of the topic.
Yeah.
Also, reading the newspaper will actually help. I did not like it, but I did. Please read the newspaper every day. You get to know a lot of. I can see questions in the chat box. I'll answer them.
We can take it up after we are done.
Yeah. So where was I? Um, right, newspaper.
AI. Yeah,
No,
newspaper.
newspaper. Yeah. So be thorough with. They can also ask you very direct questions. That,
Mm-hmm.
for example, because I said that I'm interested in the stock market, they asked me what was the Sensex what was the closing Sensex last day?
Yeah.
But thankfully, I spoken to a senior and I knew that they might ask this question. So I went through
Yeah.
it before the interview. So things like this, go to the newspaper and be thorough with whatever you're saying. Do not lie. That is the most important thing. Please do not lie. You're going
Yeah.
to mess up in the interview. They can read you very well. These are professors who have taken hundreds and hundreds of interviews, and
Interview.
most of them are also HR, OB specific, PhDs. So
Professors. Yeah,
they can
PhD.
read your face very well. So yeah.
Yeah, and like you're saying, reading newspapers are boring. Yeah, it is. But if you find any interest in it, then there is nothing better than it. Because if you read newspapers, you can relate everything to each and everything, be it
Right.
economics, be it anything. Because current news will affect each and everything.
Exactly. Also, apart from newspapers, also reading of articles. You don't have to read very long articles. There are apps that have very If I may, I can suggest pin shots. Should I write in the chat
In
box?
shorts,
I think people know about it, but still,
people should know about it.
yeah,
In
very
short,
short articles, not articles.
these are like small paragraphs about each and everything that they upload.
Yeah,
In
again,
short, yeah.
this helps when you are in short and
In
also
short, neighbor.
short. And we're talking about two different ones. Both are very nice.
Both
But
are.
yeah, so this actually helps you build a perspective. Again, when I said that you are going to ask you opinion, you cannot have an opinion if you know only facts. If I know the
Yeah.
GDP number, I can't have an opinion on the GDP. I can give them the
Oh,
fact,
it did.
like my head GDP.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Read up.
Yeah. That's it then. I'll be taking in the questions from the chat. What does ma'am tell about her role model? Ma'am, what did you tell about them, about your role model?
Please address me as Vasudha. Uh, Role model, I wasn't asked this question. I had prepared it. Uh, so it can be any person you look up to. I would suggest do not give cliche answers. Uh, my actual genuine model is my mother, but I would suggest not saying it in an interview because
Mm-hmm.
they are probably tired of hearing it. Uh, if you're interested in finance, maybe have a role model who is the god of finance. Same for marketing. It can be
Yeah.
it can be the CEO of a company who is the CMO of a company, not the CEO. Okay, the marketing. That this is an ad campaign that I really like for marketing.
Yeah.
And then I researched that who was the mastermind behind this
Mm-hmm.
campaign. So after that,
Mm-hmm.
I actually followed that person, his journey, her
Yeah.
journey, and then you can actually go about it. So
Yeah. So even I was asked about my role model. I really idolize Suresh Raina as he is in cricketer. So I spoke about him. They asked me two, three questions about the role model. And you, if someone is your genuine role model, you will be able to ask everything, you answer everything about them. And role model can be I know it might sound cliche that my mother is my role model, but anyone who you idolize should be or can be a role model, and it is totally okay to be mention about it.
yeah,
How to
absolutely.
approach PI if you have how to approach PI if you have interest in operations.
Operations, I do not have an interest in operations, but PIs are not very domain specific usually. If
Yeah.
you are mentioning that you have an interest in
Mm.
operations, they might ask you why. For example, when I mentioned that I'm interested in finance, the first question was why. So I'm
Right.
assuming or suggesting that have an answer prepared for why operations. Why do you have an interest in the subject? Have you studied anything related to that? Have you done a
Yeah.
course on that? Do you have somebody who is in that field? Have you, do you have work experience in the field of operations? So
Mm-hmm.
these questions, they won't ask you what is a bottleneck or what is lead time. They won't.
Ah. So YOUG, however we pronounce it, my major is operations, so I can help you out about it. So operations would consist of supply chain in it, inventory management, and then you'll be asked about Six Sigma, about all of the cleaning processes, about lean and everything. So just go agile. So go about these things, and to be honest, there are very rarely few people who are sure about operations and whenever they're joining a college. So if it's operation, be bro, read about it. What course do you write? What course to do right now for finance, and how to prepare for exam?
Okay. How to prepare for
Okay.
extempore? As I said,
Yeah.
take up random topics. Just
Random topics.
you're sitting and having lunch and you give yourself a topic, any topic, say uh, for example, trade in India. It's a very bad topic, but
Mm-hmm.
this is my topic, my extempore topic. So just take a minute or two and think about it in your own head, and actually don't just think, speak. It's a
Speak.
very cliche answer. Speak in front of the mirror. It works. Trust me, it works. I am a person who is petrified of public speaking, but when you practice in front of a mirror, it actually helps. I actually practiced before joining this meeting. That is going to help you. Please practice in front of the
I
mirror. Yeah, give yourself random topics. You don't have to have domain specific topics. Any topic will work. A bright sunny day. Just speak on it
Yeah,
for a minute or two. Practice, and it is going to help
yeah.
you in the interview. What course to do right now for finance? Again, finance is a very broad uh, domain. I was interested in stocks, in investment. I also have my SIP in investment banking. So I did courses in stock markets. You can do free courses. You don't have to. There are a lot of courses available. You have different platforms. You have My Captain, you have Udemy, you have
Mm.
LinkedIn offers a few courses. Just if you're doing any course from any platform, be thorough about the course. You don't just mention that I did a course on stock market,
Yeah.
right? They're going to ask you what are candlesticks, if anybody here is interested in stocks. So just know
Mm-hmm.
what you're doing. Uh,
Then we have Harshal Mehta as role model if we are interested in finance. Uh, like I know someone who said that my role model is Hitler just because how we managed things, how we did things, how authoritative he is. So until and unless you stick to the positive side of any role model, I guess it is okay. And they might ask you why Harshal Mehta ने scam करा, why are you doing, why is he your role model? So उसके लिए question है ना.
if you're giving
What
a
about
if you're giving a controversial answer, be prepared for cross questions. Be prepared for roasting also. They are going to roast you. So be prepared for that.
what about grooming or interview? For the positive of the time, I'll be taking yeah, one question more. What about grooming on interview day?
Um, who
Uh,
okay.
just be neat, just wear good clothes, speak properly. That's good enough for you to groom that day. Use some makeup and stuff. Please suggest some small duration courses. You can search it up for Coursera, Udemy, do some courses, increase your knowledge. And I guess then we are done. Thank you, Vasudha, for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
I I hope I didn't make it hard. Like you need to practice before coming here. So
No, no, it's
it
a
was
me
of no
problem.
need.
It
Yeah,
was actually fun talking to you.
yeah. Same, yeah. Thanks a lot for giving out your time.